The life of a living doll is pain. I mean, there's certainly plenty of shadow masters that aren't abusive like that of Sarah, who belongs to the streets. No question asked. Everyone outside of Kate seemingly views them as a tool to express emotions. Like, I would argue John seems to be like a very close second to Kate, but even then, it feels like, well, he wants his face to be comfortable, hence why he actually tried to wear glasses, so then in return your doll can wear glasses because it's not going against something that your face isn't supposed to do or anything. It does feel to me the only character that we've seen who's completely willing to have a face with her own personality who goes against everything that she's supposed to be is Kate, and with her new ability to control soot, that doesn't seem to be too big of an issue if she constantly is controlling her movements while still giving her the creative freedom to act like her own individual person, but it feels twisted to say the least. I mean, I thought last week's Shawn, Best Boy, and To See His Master, I mean, absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed them, I have to say, because I was really curious about the whole idea. I mean, it just further led to, like, they have to be humans. Like, why would a living doll need bad eyesight unless the master itself has bad eyesight? But we learned that the master doesn't wear glasses, so in that case, they're clearly a different character than that of their master. And actually see him, like, wear glasses in this episode, I was really shocked. I was like, wait a second, there's gotta be more to this. And no, he's just a genuinely good guy. Shadow, I don't know. Is it even a guy? Is it just a shadowy figure, right? Hard to say, but the whole idea that he actually found a perfect replica so that he could wear it, so then the doll itself can wear it, but it doesn't make sense to, right? Because naturally these faces and stuff like that, if he was dead, naturally have glasses. It would just be like a shadowy figure, not something that the doll itself would wear. So it's fascinating to see the difference in relationships because I absolutely love these two and how, Shawn's just so devoted to cleaning and he's like, I'll wear them if I need to get extra precise, but because I'm your face, I can't wear it. And I just love the kind of back and forth between those two. Definitely my favorite, I think, pairing in this show so far, as much as I love Emilico and Kate. There's something about those two that had me so just awestruck, I guess is the best way to put it. But to see Mia and Sarah, I hated that. I really did. I mean, you need a good anger point to your story, especially in an abuse story like this, because it's definitely abuse. I mean, you're literally forcing them into slavery. But to see her just hate having her own personality, destroying her dolls, messing up her room, you are a face, and the fact that she has to beg to be punished in order to get second chances. I mean, we saw the scars I think it was when they were bathing 2 episodes back, give or take. There was a lot of scars on her back, and we're understanding how she got them. Literally whipped with a cane, and I mean, obviously because she's the face, you never hit the face because one, it has to act as your mirror, but also you don't want to show that your doll is misbehaving behind closed doors, right? Disgusting behavior and complete night and day from someone like John to then Sarah, like holy shit, absolute insanity. And the numerous times you look at a master in this show, like the one girl getting dressed up like how beautiful you are, oh let's get you all pretty up. It's not like she's doing it because she treats her as a person. No, she's in love with herself, basically. There's a lot of twistedness with these characters, and the fact that the debut wasn't this, like, showroom floor, we're gonna walk down the runway. It was how do you act, because how do you eat? How do you respond? Everything about it, and the fact that they have basically the shelving unit and that these little doll-like figures get moved up and down depending on how they act. And the one arrogant bastard pair there who thought so highly of themselves, I absolutely adored every time they got demoted. And to see them all leave at the end to go to this garden, but only the shadows themselves can go, I got bad feelings. I mean, I thought the debut itself with the humanoid dolls would be the worst part, but I got a bad feeling about what could happen to the shadows, because I have a feeling based on maybe what happened with some of the faces, the shadows themselves will be punished rather than the faces, and that could be pretty terrifying, right? This was just one of those episodes that had so much going on for it. Without it being really mysterious anymore, this episode was about to make you unnerved not knowing how the debut will go. When you have a character like Emilico who's trying to make friends with all these dolls, we know they have personalities, but in the face of these shadows, they're literally supposed to mirror what's happening. And to have someone like Kate throughout the course of this episode get actually really pissed off and, you constantly see the soot stream going off her head, but how do you make up for that situation? You're literally in the middle of the debut. There's nothing you can do except make it look like this is just how it has to be. Laugh for me, so she laughs back. well, some of these characters were definitely trying to make up for their doll's mistakes or their, missteps, things like that. I think in certain cases, Kate might have had the easiest way to kind of compromise with that, not only controlling her movements in the dance, but also just doing what, she obviously needs to have happen, because Emilico is her own wild card, so it's more natural for her to try to mimic her, even if that's not what's supposed to happen. I mean, to just see the types of conversations that were able to occur simply eating and drinking and dancing in such a small closed-in environment, and to have someone like, I think his name was Edward, just snap and just how cold he was. The fact that, literally a doll was judging the shadows. Not something I thought, but apparently he's unique. Like, this show's absolutely incredible. It just seems so odd to me, though, with, literally taking the shadows out, because one would think the characters that would be tested would be the dolls themselves, right? Because you'd want to see how personal they are. Like, there's a moment where one of the characters actually gets demoted because they treated him as such, as having a personality. But no, you're not supposed to have a personality. That's why the names are kind of like a branch off of their own. And pretty much that means as long as they sound similar, like Sarah, Mia, there's an at the end of their names, right? So the fact that characters like Emilico is very different than Kate, I mean, that's a demotion in itself. So I'm curious to see if maybe the shadows are going to be shown something, maybe some more truth about their world. But I'm curious if one of the biggest tests is actually going to be, are the dolls going to try to do something on their own, or are they going to wait by for their masters to come and tell them to do something? Because as we know, this is supposed to simply be a face. It should not have its own personality. It should not be doing things on its own. So that means Emilico is definitely going to branch off of that. And that's what's pretty interesting, is that I don't know who's truly being tested right here, or if they both are, but in completely different ways. Are the shadows about to be exposed to something that will test what they're capable of in the hierarchy of this house? As simultaneously the dolls are being tested, are they going to wait by good boys and girls? Who knows, right? But there's definitely a lot of chaos happening, and I don't know, I expected the debut to be nerve-wracking, but I didn't expect myself to be so anxious while watching. And even after, it's been a half hour since I finished watching this episode, I'm still feeling this anxiety about the debut. And that's how you know you got some good writing on your hands, if that's how I'm feeling. I definitely think Shadow's House is one of those stories that is definitely fresh and exciting, and the more I watch, the more questions I have, and even in episodes like this, I don't have too many questions. I just feel my mind racing just as much, just more so of the anxiety of not knowing where the shadows are going at the end of this episode. I would love to know everyone's thoughts and feelings. What did you think, and what was your personal favorite moment? I think, as much as it pissed me off, my favorite moment had to be the abuse scene, just because it shows how shitty some of these characters truly are, and just how twisted this series can get if it wants to. But let me know yours down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, show your support, and hit that subscribe button if you're happy and new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.